All right, so file management. If you're on Windows, the most popular operating system in the world, then um, then you're probably going to be using the file manager as your file management system. If you notice here, it says, oh, sorry, File Explorer is the name of the application. All right, so File Explorer seems a little overwhelming here. Open to videos. Typically, it might open up to like something like desktop. So here we see files. These are all the files on your computer. If you go to this PC, you're going to go very, very far up, and you're going to see even more directories, more files. So everything, and here you can see the space on this computer. For example, it's 1.21 terabytes are free. I have a total of almost 2 terabytes. Some of it was probably taken up by system software. All right, so why do we need to know the file management system? Because whenever you're saving files, right, whenever you want to upload files, whenever you want to deal with files, which is one of the biggest things you'll do on a computer, you need to know your file directory, your file management system. All right, so how do we navigate files? So you can certainly use these tabs on the left. There's even a search bar on the right that lets you go. You can search for a particular one like desktop and go to desktop. It'll take me to desktop. I can even search within this folder. So if you do want to search the entire computer, you can click on this PC and then search for a particular document. Let's say CIS 101. See what comes up. Well, it looks like I have to open a folder first. So let's go CIS 101. So it's going to actually go through all my folders and dig up everything until it finds some that have CIS 101 in the folder name. Because I searched my entire computer, it's going to take a while. If I start kind of smaller, like at documents, and then I go, all right, let's actually go to downloads because most of them go to downloads. Let's go to downloads, CIS 101. Whoops, 101. There you go. All my files that have CIS 101. Even social media right here. It's not actually named CIS 101, but inside one of the slides, it has the 101 in it. So it actually pulled that one up. So yeah, just some examples of how you can use the File Explorer. So you can use these buttons, these tabs to navigate. So these are folders, right? These are directories. So folder is going to have files inside of it, and sometimes even other folders. So for example, my desktop is a folder. If I go to this Amigos folder, then there's even more folders in here. So these are some of my work projects. Notice how everything's kind of small. I do like this view, however, because it tells me when it was modified. If I click on this column, it'll actually sort it by the date. There's also type. You can sort it by the type by doing here. And again, you can do all these things by doing a right click. You can sort, group, refresh, do all that stuff. New folder, which we'll be doing in a sec. You can do all these things in your File Explorer. Um, there's also buttons here on the toolbar, right? New folder, delete. So there's always more than one way to do the same thing. You can even select multiple, right? Just like if you're doing text. This is a typical feature of any File Explorer. Let's talk about the view though, right? Sometimes maybe, especially if I'm like in my videos, I want to see a preview. So sometimes when you're open up a folder, sometimes the view is like this. And that's not really easy for me to see which videos, right? I'm working on, right? These names aren't very good because it's names that were automatically generated by my recording software. So I don't really know which video is which. A better way is if I change the view. So I can do that here on the View tab at the top of my File Explorer, or I can always do a right click and go on View. So if I want to see them extra large, I can go to extra large icons, and there you go. Now it gives me an actual little preview of the video. So that's extremely, extremely useful. All right, like let's say I want to organize these videos, right? I want to make a folder. So I can certainly go to Home, New Folder, or again, right click is the most powerful, or two-finger tap if you're on a trackpad and don't have a mouse and keyboard, or I should say a mouse, you can always do a right click and go to new folder. And then there it goes, new folder. It's at the very bottom. It's going to ask me to give it a name. That's why it's selected. It's highlighted. I'm going to call it week 4. All right. Now my folders are at the very bottom. Usually your folders go up here. If I hit this refresh button, or if I right click and then go to refresh, it's going to take a second. It's a lot of videos. Then you'll be able to see the folder. Yeah, it's taking a little bit longer than usual. But yeah, just remember, you can always access most options through a right click. So my week 4 videos, well, I was recording those today. So I'm going to go off the date. So let's see, I'm going to select any videos that are week 4 and drag and drop them. So how can I select these? So I can click on one video, it's selected, but as soon as I click on another one, then that one kind of loses its selection. Well, I could click and drag, but sometimes I don't select the right videos, right? Maybe I do want to do click. So you could do click and drag. That's one way. But then I can't, I can't get all the videos quite with one drag. So let's say I click and drag these videos, but I also want these top 2 videos. Hit your control or command key. You can click and drag those, and you can even unselect them. I'm holding the control key. So when you hit the control key, it's going to allow you to select multiple files, in this case, videos. If I click anywhere without the control key, they'll all be unselected. So control key is kind of giving you like that highlight option. So I'm going to highlight these videos because they all say today's date. Oh, I forgot one, so I'm going to hit control and then click on this one. And then on that one, I'm going to drag them into week 4. So you can click and drag them, or again, right click, and you can do a copy. You could do a paste. You could do a send to if you want to do a zip folder, which we'll do in a sec. But yeah, you can certainly do copy. You can right click on this folder and do paste, or you could select them. One way I love to do it is by doing the drag and drop, which you can actually do for your submissions. You can drag and drop a file into Canvas when you're submitting your homework and submit it that way. So I'm going to do move to week 4, drag and drop, and now week 4 has all those videos. And you can actually see little previews. All right, so that's how you create a folder. That's how you change the view. And let's say I want to rename this folder, right click, you can always rename. All right, so I have this captures folder. It's not really doing anything. Let's say I want to delete this folder. And let me drag a video in there, like a random one. One that maybe I'm not using. So let's drag this one in there. So captures. So I can delete a single file in captures, or I could delete the whole folder. So the folder is a collection, right, of files. So I'm gonna delete the whole folder. It's gone. It's poof. So it's actually not gone. It's actually not gone. It's actually gonna be in my recycling bin. So I can't find my recycling bin on my screen because I'm using a second monitor. But if I search for it on my search bar here, there we go. We have our recycling bin. So actually when you delete a folder, it goes to your recycling bin. So until you actually hit empty, it's still taking up space in your computer. So you might be surprised by opening your recycling bin. You're going to see hundreds, maybe thousands of files. Let's go ahead and empty this. So this is going to take a bunch of files. So it's actually freeing up almost 2 gigabytes of memory on my computer. So it's actually quite a long time since I emptied my recycling bin. So yeah, make sure that when you delete something, now that we went over how to delete it, that you also go to the recycling bin if you want to get rid of it permanently. All right, so that's those are some of the different features of your File Explorer. So we went over navigating file directories. You can use the search bar, you can use the tabs, creating a folder, renaming, adding, moving, copying files. So you could copy, paste files into different folders, deleting files in the recycling bin. Let's go over zip files, OneDrive, and the external secondary storage. All right, so zip files. Sometimes when you download a file, it goes into a zip file. So for example, I have these DocuSign documents, and I downloaded a lot of them from a website, and it went to a zip file. Now I could certainly access these documents. I could open them. Sometimes you won't be able to view the document until you unzip it. So the way you unzip a file is by hitting this extract. And extract is going to unzip the files into a folder of your choice. So here I can say, I don't know, let's go to downloads. Select folder, extract. And so now when I go to my downloads, I should see the summary. Maybe it's not sorted by date, so let me make sure I sort by date. Oh, I'm in documents, sorry. Let's go to downloads. And yeah, summary and then VLE, so those two files that I had. So yeah, they're here in my downloads. Why do we have zip files? Why do we need to extract things? A zip file is when you have many, many files, a way to save space, because when you're sending an email, there's limited space you can actually have when attaching files. It'll zip them. So it actually does some data manipulation and compresses your data. So it takes up less space without losing the essential data. So in order to bring back that essential data, you do need to extract or unzip that folder. So just a little extra tidbit there. OneDrive. So OneDrive is the effort of Windows to go into the cloud. So now you have the option of not only saving your files to your computer, but also to OneDrive. I don't recommend OneDrive for most beginner users because once we get to Google and Google Suite, that's really where you're going to want to keep your or your cloud files, your cloud information, your cloud data. So OneDrive, I'm just going to briefly mention it. It is the cloud directory. So you can save things to the cloud. You can access them through your Microsoft account. But for the most part in this class, I do want to focus on the Google Suite. So yeah, if for the most part you don't want to save things here, it can be a little bit of a mess trying to find those files. So yeah, make sure you always save your files to your PC and not to OneDrive. Yeah, it's just one of those things. Microsoft's trying to compete with cloud, and so they've implemented OneDrive, but it's not the most convenient. It's not the most useful. Maybe in a few years it'll be a little bit easier to use. Um, but yeah, I have a few gripes with it. And then last but not least is external secondary storage. So if you connect a USB, you'll actually see it pop up here on this PC. It'll be a different drive. So if I connect something, it might show up as like here, as a R drive or a C drive. That's just showing you the USB drive that you connected, and you'll be able to access the files there. So I have, for example, a 1 TB hard drive that I can connect, a solid state drive. It has extra storage, have extra photos in there, and I just have it there just in case, anything happens to my laptop, everything's safe and backed up on that storage. So when I connect it, you'll be able to see it here in your directory. Yeah, but that's pretty much it for file navigation. We'll go ahead and review the lab in the next.